This is Erin. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so excited you're joining me here today. We'll be moving through a slow flow Vinyasa class. We'll dig deep into the head, neck, and shoulders, get into the hips and the hamstrings, strengthen the core, and do some lateral stretching as well, so you'll flow through a whole body experience. And you can do this whole class without props, but I highly recommend grabbing a blanket and a block to support your practice. So as you're ready, find a comfortable seat and take the time it takes to get settled. So choose a position where you feel stable and supported. And if your hips are tight like mine are today, you can sit up on a block or a bolster, or you can even sit in a chair for the opening and closing meditation. As you land in your seat, rise up tall through the spine. Begin to relax the face around the eyes and the mouth and the jaw. Begin to rub your hands together, generating some heat. And then add the press of the palms in Anjali Mudra. You can also rest your hands down on your lap or take another position that works better for you. So this beginning, like everything else we do in yoga today, is all about honoring your own body and your own choices. So feel free to choose different options. I'll be leading you through a flow, but at any point, pause the video, dig deeper into a posture, or fast forward through something that doesn't feel good. So this is really about finding something that feels good. This is about you and your practice and your mat. So just find your breath, find your flow, and when you get settled here in this intention, begin to check in with your physical body by feeling the sensation of air on your skin. Notice the temperature in the room and the temperature in your body. And then take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and open the mouth and let the air out with a sigh, adding a little bit of sound. And allow the sound of the exhalation to help you land a little more fully in the present moment. And eventually seal the lips, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, allowing yourself to breathe freely and fully. So as we begin this yoga and meditation practice, you can imagine your breath is like the deep ocean within you, offering the calm, stable presence no matter what's happening on the surface. You can consider your thoughts and your feelings, and even the sensations you experience as the waves and the ripples at the surface. As you focus your mind on the deep ocean of the breath, you can move through your practice and your life with more ease, flow, balance, and joy. So throughout this practice, really focus on the breath. Allow it to be a messenger about where you're at, helping you find your edge but not move over your edge. Continuing to be in your learning zone. So watch your breath move in and out. And notice that as you focus your attention on your breath, you naturally enter the present moment. You naturally land fully in your experience. So in this place, if you like to set an intention for your practice or dedicate your practice to someone or something, you can take a moment here. Slowly release hands down to your side. On an in-breath, reach arms up overhead, pressing palms together at the top. You can take your gaze up toward the thumbs. As you exhale, bring hands out to a T position. Take a big breath across the wingspan, and as you exhale, softly release the hands back down to your side. One more time, inhale, reach the arms up. Palms pressed together at the top, take your gaze up. On an exhalation, bring hands back to a T position. Really feel the energy from fingertip to fingertip as you breathe in. And as you exhale, release back down. Then interlace your hands, press palms forward and then up. Then gently move arms side to side, softening around the shoulders, the head, the neck. And then release when you're ready. Inhaling, interlace hands, pressing palms up. Take a big breath in at the top. And then gently release side to side on the exhalation, as though you're just waking up, getting to know your body. And on an exhalation, release one more time. Press hands forward and then up. And this time we'll separate the hands. Imagine we're holding onto a big beach ball here. So really lift up through the heart center, through the sternum. Take your gaze up. Spread the fingers, energy through the fingertips. Take a big breath in here. And on the exhalation, look toward the right. Press that palm into the ground. Reach the top arm up, then across just a little bit. And see if you can turn the pinky finger inward here, allowing the shoulder blade to glide down the back. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can walk your fingers away from you, sinking into the deeper C shape of the spine. On an inhalation, come up through center. And as you exhale, move to the other side. Top arm reaches up, pinky finger comes in, and then reach across just a little bit, rooting down through the opposite hip. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can walk hands away from you, sinking deeper into that C shape of the spine. Inhale, come through center. Interlacing hands once again, press palms up, and then just release everything back down. And press palms away from each other, and then clasp hands behind you. Shoulder blades draw toward each other. And in this place, nod your head yes, and exaggerate the yes-like motion. It's not a normal yes, but a exaggerated full range of motion yes. And then shake your head no. And again, kind of exaggerate, move to your edge on each side. Can't really imagine doing this if we're saying yes or no to each other, but in yoga it's great. And then slowly bring hands around toward the right kidney. And let your head fall to that same shoulder, creating length in the opposite side of the neck. And when you're ready, release to the other side. Hands sweep around toward the opposite kidney. And the left ear moves toward the left shoulder, creating length in the opposite side of the neck. And breathe right into the sensation you feel here. Slowly release through center. And slowly come out of your seated position, placing any props you're using off to the side. And take your feet mat width apart. And allow your hands to come behind you like kickstands supporting you. And in this place, let the knees fall across the body to the right side. And twist, stacking your wrists right underneath your shoulders. On the inhalation, create a long spine. And as you exhale, you can keep a neutral neck or take your gaze toward or over that right shoulder. And then slowly release. Begin to activate the arms, moving them like an airplane. The next time your right arm comes behind you, press into it, send your hips forward and up, and take a big sweeping motion with the left hand. And trace the length in the whole left side of your body here. On an exhalation, release back down. Activating arms and breath, adding some energy here. And the next time your right arm comes behind you, press into it once again, creating length through the whole left side of your body, lifting through the heart, and taking a deep breath at the top. As you exhale, slowly sink the hips back down. Begin to frame your right knee with your hands. Lifting up through the heart, drop your hips down, and take your gaze over that front shoulder, gazing down your nose. Breathe right into the sensation you feel here and soften around the eyes and the mouth and the jaw. And then slowly release, bringing hands behind you and allow knees to fall across the body to the other side, landing in a pinwheel position. Stack your hands under your shoulders and lift through the heart. You can keep a neutral neck or take your gaze toward or over the opposite shoulder. As you're ready, slowly unwind, pick up the arms and begin to activate them, moving them like an airplane. activating your breath and picking up your energy here. And when the hand comes behind you, press into it, sending hips forward and up, just like we did on the other side, and reach that top arm up, feeling the expansion across the front and the side of your body. On an exhalation, slowly sink your hips back down and begin to activate the arms, moving them like an airplane. Activate the breath and your energy. And when the hands come behind you, once again, press into the back hand, reach that top arm up, and trace the length in the whole right side of your body. As you exhale, release back down. And frame your left knee with your hands this time, lifting up through the heart. Sink your hips down and turn your head toward the front shoulder and look down your nose. Bring your breath right into the sensation you feel in your body. When you release, take hands behind you and allow your knees to gently fall side to side, checking in with one hip and then the other. And then slowly extend your legs long, add a little bounce to the knees, and begin to make your way into Dandasana, staff pose. So your hands press down alongside your hips, lifting through the heart, shoulder blades glide down the back. A slight tuck of the chin creates a long back of the neck. And engage your legs so much that your heels float off the ground. And then soften just a little bit so heels return to the ground and pull back on the outer edges of the feet so the whole body is engaged. Legs are firmed really nicely. And in this place, breathe. And then slowly pick the right leg up. Begin to take the right heel in circles, so just getting into the right hip. And slowly draw a leg in toward you, flexing that top foot, so that right foot. And you can even place the foot in the opposite elbow crease if that's available to you. And if it's not, just send the toes toward the ceiling, heart moves toward chin, and the leg moves toward the heart. And then slowly release that foot down, pressing, rooting down into the foot. Sweep your arm through the opening in your leg and twist toward the opposite shoulder. Another option is to hug leg toward you, and that gets into the outer hip a little bit more. If you're feeling open, you can begin to slide your left hand and shoulder over the leg, lifting through the heart, deepening the twist. As you exhale, unwind. And coming through center, begin to draw your right foot toward the left hip, stacking knees on top of each other. And if this is too much on your body, you can cross right ankle just above the knee over the left thigh. And bring your hands to either side of the hip in Dandasana position, and from there, you can move forward a little bit. Return to Dandasana, taking a deep breath here, pressing down into the palms, lifting the heart, and then slowly slide left leg up, beginning to make some circles with the heel, and then cradle the leg. So you can cradle the leg either by pressing the foot into the opposite elbow crease, or you can just send toes up, holding on to the knee and the foot. Heart lifts toward the leg lifts toward the heart. Add any rocking or swaying that helps you to open, and then slowly place the foot down, beginning a seated spinal twist. So there's those three options that you did on the other side, and you can choose one or do all three as you see in the video. Really find your breath here, so deepening the inhalation and creating an even longer exhalation. One more deep breath on this side, finding length in the spine. And as you exhale, unwind. This time the left foot comes toward the right hip and stack knees on top of each other. And once again, choose to stay in either Dandasana position or lift through the heart and walk your hands forward, taking a neutral gaze down toward the foot. Some rounding in the spine is fine here, but really work on lifting through the sternum, lifting through the heart, creating a long back of the neck. Breathing right into the sensation you feel. And then slowly roll up, once again returning through Dandasana. deep breath, finding a long spine, strong legs, active feet here. And as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead, press palms together, take your gaze up. As you exhale, release hands down to your side. Inhale, lift through the heart, take your gaze up, and exhale, fold forward. Add any rocking or swing that helps you to open here. Really engage the legs here as you move into your forward fold, drawing back on the outer edges of the feet. Deepen your breath. Breathe right into the sensation you feel, and then slowly roll up. Hands come about a foot behind you, coming into upward facing plank. So press up a little bit. If you're feeling a little bit stronger, you can lift hips a little more. Or you can move feet all the way toward the ground, heart lifts, gaze up or gaze behind you. So really expanding across the front of the body. As you exhale, release back down. Returning through Dandasana. Inhale, reach arms up, palms press together at the top. Exhale, hands move away from each other. Inhale, heart lifts, gaze up. And exhale, fold forward, moving back into your forward fold. You'll notice maybe each time we enter this forward fold, there's a little more opening, a little more softening, a little more letting go. So add any swaying or rocking here that helps you to open. And see if you can soften the face, the eyes, the mouth, the jaw. Slowly let yourself roll up. And once again, hands come about a foot behind you, fingers face forward, pressing into the hands, lift hips up a little bit, or a little more. As you exhale, unwind, coming back through Dandasana. Breathing. Lifting through the heart, pulling back on the outer edges of the feet, and then slowly scoot your hips forward, bending at the knees. We'll move into Navasana boat pose. So you'll see options in the video. You can hold on behind the thighs, lifting through the heart, let shoulder blades glide down the back. You can release the hands, hands come out facing each other. You can turn palms up, taking the gaze up. And wherever you are, find your breath. As you exhale, bring feet down, and your legs create a nice diamond shape so your heels aren't too close to your body, moving a little further away. And allow yourself to tuck and round as the crown of the head approaches the arches of the feet. You can add some swaying or rocking if it helps you to open here. And then slowly release, moving back into another round of Navasana. So we'll move through some more options. Holding on, you can stay holding on or reach hands out facing each other. Navel draws in and up, heart lifts. Another option is to begin to straighten the legs, holding on behind the thighs. So this helps you to really lift the heart, shoulders melt down. And the final option is the full expression of boat pose. So hands reach out facing each other. And breathe. As you exhale, feet come down, creating a nice diamond shape with the legs. Let yourself melt forward. Adding any swing or rocking that helps you to open. Navel draws in toward the spine as you tuck and round. And then slowly roll up one more time, last round of Navasana. So you can choose any option that we've moved through, or you can do all of the options that you see in the video. So wherever you are, find your breath, find your ease. What can you do to let go a little bit more here? And as you exhale, once again, nice restorative pose here, letting the knees fall apart, creating that nice diamond shape. Adding any movement that helps you to open. From here, we'll roll up and slowly make our way into a squatting position. So you can keep hands in front of you if you come onto the balls of your toes, or you can bring palms together, allowing the arms to move legs away from each other as you root heels down into the ground. Then release hands down, tailbone reaches up toward the ceiling. Bend the knees deeply here, letting yourself just melt over your legs. You can let yourself just sway side to side. Let yourself bounce up to standing. Continue bouncing. So we'll start some Qigong bouncing here. And so you just soften through the knees, turn your hands and arms into empty coat sleeves so you're not really efforting through the hands and the arms. All the energy is just moving down, just releasing the tailbone down, the feet down. And you can let the breath just be loose and easy and rhythmic. You can even add a little sound to the breath. You can just have fun with it, letting go, letting this be easy, letting your mouth relax. You can do a slow bounce or a quick one or play around with speed here. Just noticing what happens to your energy. Just softening, letting go. You just imagine any stress you're carrying, any tension, any worries just kind of melting away into the earth with this easy rhythmic bouncing. And you just find out what your rhythm is. You can see if it's heavy or if it's light, and then slowly add some energy to your hands. Begin to activate the hands. So it's like you have water on your hands and you're really flicking it off. And then turn your hands into moths. Let them climb up toward the ceiling, reaching around for the light. And then reach and pause. As you exhale, float hands down to your side and imagine they're moving through molasses. Take as many breaths as you need to get hands to land down by the side. Then at the bottom, pause and notice the effects of this Qigong bouncing. Notice pulsing, streaming, tingling sensations, signs that your Qi or your prana has been activated. And keeping your feet hip-width and parallel and knees soft, we'll move into some Qigong swaying. And so once again, hands and arms are empty coat sleeves. And just use the power coming up through the feet and the power coming from your center to twist and move the arms. And this is wonderful for digestion. This really stimulates, the twisting motion stimulates the internal organs and helps stimulate digestion and energy flow. You can add a little bounce to the knees or just keep swaying. And you can keep the gaze forward or look over the opposite shoulder as you twist, but this can add to some vertigo or dizziness for some people. And you can play with speed. In the video I really speed this up, catching my own attention, or you can really slow this down. So let this slowly come to a pause as you move back into Tadasana, standing pose, standing mountain pose, and then pause and receive the effects of Qigong swaying, noticing pulsing, streaming, tingling sensations in the body. Feel really rooted down through the feet here, so rooting down so you rise up so tall. And notice your breath, just rhythmic and even. Slowly press hands down by your hips and then turn hands toward each other. We'll move into parting the sky. So one more Qigong experience. Let the arms rise up, and when they get to the top, part the sky, letting hands float down, back by your hips, energy through the hands, creating a nice circular motion. Arms are round. And find your breath here, so you can coordinate your breath with this movement, letting yourself soften, deepen into the rooting of your feet. And you can play around a little bit. Imagine your breath is moving your arms, letting them float up and float apart. And the next time your hands float down to your side, keep the press of the palms rooting. You can imagine roots are going down through the hands, through the feet. And keep the whole body active and engaged here. And then slowly just release the hands. Let the arms float up. Press palms together at the top and take your gaze up toward the thumbs, lifting through the heart. As you exhale, swan dive forward, hinging from hips. Let the head go down last. You can bend the knees as much as you need to here. Bringing hands to the legs, press into them. Come halfway take your gaze up, creating a nice long spine. And on an exhalation, release back down, softening the knees. Slide hands up to the hips and come all the way up with a flat back. Release hands down to the side when you get to the top. And a big breath in, floats hands back up. Palms pressed together, take your gaze up. And once again, as you exhale, separate the hands, lead with the heart and fold. Letting the head hang heavy at the bottom, knees can remain soft. On the inhalation, press into the legs, come halfway, gaze up. And on an exhalation, fold, hinging from hips, letting the head go down last. And once again, hands side to hips, coming all the way up with a flat back on the in-breath. Exhale, release hands, and this time we'll flow through a child salutation. So on the in-breath, reach the hands up, palms press together, heart lifts. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway, gaze up. And then plant the hands shoulder width apart and walk or step back into your plank pose. We'll find strength here, holding for a couple deep breaths. And so be mindful to have a nice strong plank. Heart pulls through the shoulders, energy through the backs of the knees, and the hips remain in line with the body. So some common things we see in plank are for the knees to start softening or bending. And so just make sure that there's energy through the backs of the knees. And sometimes the hips are lifting up so the butt sticks up toward the ceiling. And so I'm demoing that in the video, you'll see this. So slowly just turn your whole body into a nice, long, strong plank. Then drop the knees to the ground, tops of the feet pressed down, coming into a child's pose, hips scoot back, and the forehead can rest on the ground. Keep this an active child's pose, pressing down into the finger pads. And bring your breath right into the back of the heart. Big breath in. As you exhale, walk hands across to the left side. Right hand comes on top of left hand. And trace and lengthen the whole right side of your body here. Take one more deep breath in, and as you exhale, walk hands over to the other side. This time, left hand comes on top of right hand. And trace the length on the whole left side of your body. One more deep breath here. And as you exhale, walk hands back in front of you, coming into a tabletop position. So stack knees under hips and look back, take your feet behind your knees and really press into the tops of the feet here. And we'll move through some cat and cow postures. So on the in-breath, begin to drop the belly, lift the heart, and take your gaze up. You can soften the elbows a little bit here. And on an out breath, slowly tuck and round, dropping the head, gazing toward your navel. You can come onto your finger pads and get a little more leverage here. Inhale, press into the tops of the feet, drop belly, lift heart, take your gaze up. And exhale, tuck and round, gazing toward the navel. Inhale, drop belly, lift heart, gaze up. Just massaging the spine, massaging the back here. As you exhale, tuck and round, head hangs heavy. Slowly return to neutral, walk hands forward, spread fingers, curl toes under, and make your way into downward facing dog. You can keep knees soft as we start here, and then pedal through the heels, stretching across the calves and the hamstrings. Create strong arms, hip creases press back. And so you can begin to draw the heels down toward the earth, or keep your knees bent if that helps you in your downward facing dog. And slowly walk hands back toward your feet here, making your way into a forward fold. So this is a really nice transition if stepping toward your hands is difficult. Creating a long spine, knees can remain soft in this forward fold as we continue to warm up the body. And then slowly press halfway, take your gaze up, long spine. As you exhale, let yourself fold. And this time, lead with the heart, come all the way up, hands sweep out and then up, palms pressed together at the top. Exhale, hands float back down to your side. And take a couple steps to the top of the mat, finding your standing mountain posture right at the top of the mat. So feet hip width and parallel, energy through the fingertips. And soften the knees here. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, swan dive forward, hinging from hips, let your head go down last. On the in-breath, press halfway, take your gaze up. On the out-breath, hands come right underneath shoulders, step, hop, or walk back into your plank. And you can hold this plank for 5 deep breaths, or you can join me in some modified yoga push-ups here. So you can drop your knees to the ground, tops of the feet press down, and then elbows hug in, top arms are parallel to the earth before you press back up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. And when you come up, press all the way back into your child's pose, taking a nice restorative pose here, breathing into the back of your heart, creating that nice expansion of the inhalation and sinking and landing of the exhalation. And we'll slowly move back into your tabletop position. So pressing into the hands, begin to take your gaze forward and up. And stacking knees under hips and feet behind knees, tops of the feet pressed down. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, take your gaze up. Exhale, tuck and round, head hangs heavy. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, gaze up. Exhale, tuck and round. Navel draws in toward the spine. And then return to neutral. Drop elbows down where your wrists were. And let your heart and head melt through the shoulders here. And your hips remain right over your knees here. Tops of the feet continue pressing down. And then move into dolphin pose. So begin to curl toes under and straighten the legs. And at any point, if your wrists are sore, you can continue coming into dolphin pose instead of downward facing dog. And so for the rest of you, you can press from dolphin into downward facing dog. Once again, adding any movement here that helps you to open. And then slowly walk hands back toward the feet, holding on to opposite elbows. Let yourself hang. As you inhale, press into the legs, come halfway, gaze up. Exhale, fold, head hangs heavy. Inhale, sweep arms out and then up. Coming up to standing, heart lifts at the top, palms press together. And exhale, just shake your hands all the way back down. Taking a big step to the top of the mat, returning to standing mountain pose. Inhale, reach hands up, palms pressed together. Exhale, swan dive forward, hinging from hips, head goes down last. On your in-breath, press into the shins, come halfway, look up. And as you exhale, fold, releasing the head and the neck, planting the hands, and stepping, hopping, or walking back into your plank pose. And this time we'll move through 5 yoga push-ups. Again, you can drop the knees or move from a plank position as you see in the video. So we're on 3, 4, and 5. Let yourself land down on your belly. You'll reach hands around behind you, clasping hands together. And drawing shoulder blades down your back as your heart lifts. And keep your gaze right out in front of you, creating a neutral neck. And then reach one leg up and then the other. Inner thighs roll up toward the ceiling, spread the toes. Really engaging the back of your body here. Legs are strong, arms are strong, face is soft. Heart lifts, and as you exhale, bring hands in front of you. Rest your forehead on your hands and let yourself take some nice constructive rest here. Just letting go. Notice pulsing, streaming, tingling sensations in the body. And slowly slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Press all the way back into your child's pose. Taking a nice counter pose for that heart opener. Just resting here, letting it be easy. On the in-breath, draw forward into your tabletop position. And stack your wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Pressing into your right hand, reach left hand up and then thread your hand through. And do this 3 times. And on the 3rd time, you'll land and thread the needle. So hand moves through, landing on the outer edge of the arm, finding a comfortable position for the head, neck, and shoulders here. Reach the right hand toward the right corner of the mat. Or take any variations you like to take in this pose. So you can press right hand down into left forearm, creating some traction in the arm, or you can sweep the arm all the way around to the low back or the opposite hip crease, opening a little bit more through the chest. Slowly release the hand back under the shoulder, press into it, reach opposite hand all the way up, and then create some nice bear walking with the hands. So just picking your hands up and placing them down before moving to the other side. So once again, press in the left hand, top arm reaches, and on the 3rd time you land. And thread the needle, finding a comfortable position for the head and the neck. And the left hand reaches toward the corner of the mat. And from there you can move into any variation that serves you well in this pose. Just finding your edge, finding the sensation that catches your attention and breathing into it. Slowly release the posture. Hand comes underneath the shoulder, top arm reaches, returning to a tabletop position. And then reach your left leg out in line with the knee, coming into this sort of triangle shape here. Slide your left hand down your leg as you reach your right arm up and over, creating a nice deep C shape in the spine. And then come through center on the inhalation. As you exhale, place right hand down under right shoulder. Sweep left arm up overhead. And you can stay here, or you can reach the arm all the way across, creating a long line of energy from the outer edge of the foot all the way through the hand. On an in-breath, come through center. And as you exhale, once again, slide left hand down the leg as the right arm sweeps up and over. Pinky finger turns inward. Nice neutral position with the head and the neck. Inhale, come through center. Once again, stack the wrists under the shoulder. Top arm reaches up, and you can stay here, or if you're wanting to add a little bit of strength to your practice, you can come into a side plank. The top arm can extend all the way over, creating that long line of energy through the left side of the body. Hips press up toward the ceiling, breathing deeply, and then slide the knee back to come through center. As you exhale, lower hands back down, coming through a tabletop position. And changing sides, so this time reach the right foot out in line with the knee. Inhale, arms reach up. And as you exhale, right hand slides down the leg as the top arm reaches up and across. On the in-breath, come through center. Exhale, left wrist stacks under left shoulder in the supported side plank. If you'd like to go deeper, sweep right arm across so the hand faces the earth. And as you inhale, press through center. And once again, curve your body in toward that right leg, creating a nice deep C shape with the spine. As you breathe in, cartwheel arms all the way across so the left hand reaches underneath the shoulder. And if you want to add a little bit of strength, you can move into the full side plank, or you can stay in this nice supported side plank. So wherever you are, really feel your strength, feel the press of the hand into the earth. And then slide left knee back underneath you, coming through center. As you exhale, hands come down and the leg slides back underneath you. And then slowly curl toes under, pressing back into downward facing dog. Finding your deep, natural, easy breath here. In two choices, you can walk feet up toward hands or hands toward feet. And let yourself hang in a forward fold. Continue to soften the knees as much as you need to create a long spine. On the in-breath, press into the legs, come halfway, look up. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, fold. On the in-breath, come all the way to standing, hands sweep out and then up. And exhale, shake your hands out all the way back down to your side, softening the knees. Hands come to the front of the hips, and then sit down into your chair pose. Inhale, reach arms up. Palms come together, then point down toward the ground. Inhale, sweep arms all the way up. And exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. Moving through some chair salutations. Building heat. Inhale, reach halfway, come up. Exhale, sit into your chair. Inhale, arms sweep up. Palms press together down toward the earth on the inhalation. Sweep arms up. And exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. Inhale, halfway, look up. Exhale, sit into your chair. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, palms press together. And inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging from hips. Let the head go down last. Inhale, press into the shins, come halfway, look up. And then step into your right foot. Take a big step back with your left foot. And take your feet about hip width apart so your feet are on railroad tracks. Then send your front knee right over your front ankle, toward the second two toes of your front foot as you press down into the outer edge of the back foot. And your hands can separate or come together as you lift through the heart, taking your gaze up. On the exhalation, bring the hands down to the inside of the right foot and walk the foot out to line it up with the edge of the mat, making some room for yourself here. Take your hands directly underneath your shoulders. The top of the back foot presses down, and the knee draws in toward the shoulder here. And if you'd like to go deeper, you can drop your arms down, coming down onto your forearms. So wherever you are, lift through the heart. Take your gaze right in between your hands, creating a long spine and a neutral neck. Slowly walk your hands back underneath you if you had been down on your forearms, and turn your right foot out, making some room for yourself. And sweep that top arm up, bending at the elbow, cactusing the arm, getting into the upper chest. On an exhalation, slowly lower, framing your front foot with your hands. And make your way up to a low lunge, walking your hands to your thigh, pressing your thigh forward as you press down into the front foot and the top of the back foot. Bring your breath right into the sensation you feel. And slowly bring your hands down. Slide your foot back underneath you, returning to a child's pose, taking a nice deep breath into the back of your heart. On the in-breath, draw forward into tabletop position, and then press back into downward facing dog. Creating some nice deep breaths, firming the thighs toward the back of the room, pressing into the hands, straightening the arms, and slowly walk hands back toward the feet or the feet up toward the hands, pausing, letting yourself hang there for a moment. Pressing down into the feet, tailbone reaches up toward the ceiling. On the in-breath, press into the legs, come halfway, look up. Exhale, sit into your chair. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, dive down and then sweep up. And slowly fold forward once again. Inhale, press into the knees, come halfway. Exhale, sit into your chair. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, palms point down and then sweep all the way back up. Landing in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway look up, and this time step into your left foot. Take a big step back with your right foot. Taking your feet hip width apart, your feet are on railroad tracks. Send your front knee toward the second two toes of your front foot, right over the ankle, and press into the outer edge of your back foot, and then choose a position for your hands. Really lift through the heart here as you sink your front leg a little bit deeper. And as you exhale, bring the hands down, make some room for yourself. So walk left foot out to the edge of the mat, drop the back knee, and press into the top of the back foot. And if you'd like to go deeper here, you can drop your forearms down to the ground, taking your gaze right between your hands, creating a neutral spine and neutral neck, breathing deeply into the sensation you feel. If you're down on your forearms, slowly make your way back up. Turn your left foot out at a 45-degree angle. Reach out with your right hand, and then big sweeping, open sweeping motion with the left hand, cactusing the arm, getting into the armpit and the chest. And on an exhalation, lower, framing your front foot with the hands, coming into a low lunge. Bring your hands to the front thigh and press it away from you as you lift your heart up. You can add a little pulsing motion, a little rhythm. Breathing into the sensation you feel. On an exhalation, come back down, slide left leg back to great right, and settle down into a child's pose. And slowly let yourself roll up, slide onto hips on one side, and swing your legs all the way around. And then scoot hips up toward the feet, and slowly make your way down onto your mat. And when you get there, just draw knees in toward your chest and let yourself massage across the lower back, across the hips, taking the knees in circles. If you're moving in one direction, move in the other direction. And then let the feet land a comfortable standing distance from the hips, setting yourself up for a bridge pose. As you're ready, on an exhalation, send the hips up toward the ceiling, and then walk your shoulders underneath you, clasping hands or pressing palms down into the mat. And so the knees draw toward each other, really pressing down into the feet. The thighs move toward a parallel position to the mat. And see if you can firm the legs so much that you can release the glutes and really puff out the upper chest, breathing across the chest. Lifting the chin ever so slightly, protecting the neck. And as you exhale, release the shoulders and trace your spine all the way back down to the mat. Bring the feet apart a little bit and let the knees fall together, taking a nice constructive rest here. You can bring your hands to your belly and breathe right into your hands. And when you're ready, we'll press into another round of bridge pose so you can release your hands down. Walk your feet in, hip width and parallel. And on an exhalation, press into the feet, curling tailbone under, sending hips up, walking shoulders underneath you, and releasing the tailbone at the top. Again, the action of drawing legs toward each other can really help with the engagement of the muscles of the legs, letting go of the glutes. And when you're ready, separate the hands, making room for yourself to come all the way back down onto the mat. And once again, feet come apart, knees come together in constructive rest. And in between these postures, just really deepen your breath and soften the muscles of the face, around the eyes and the mouth and the jaw. For the final bridge pose, you can use the strength of your body once again, or you can take a restorative bridge pose by placing a block underneath you. You can also fold up some blankets and place them underneath you. And so anything that really supports you here and helps you finish your practice. And if you're using a block underneath you, I'm demoing some options to practice while you're in this restorative bridge pose. And so these options help you get into the hip flexors and into the thigh a little bit more, so you can gaze up toward the video and see I'm extending left leg first, pressing down into the heel, leg is long, and then bending at the knee. I take the top of the foot toward the outer edge of the left hip, so really getting to the quads here. And then I change sides, so one leg extends long, the right leg this time, heel presses into the ground. Breathing right into the sensation you feel wherever you are. And if you're still tuning into the options during the restorative bridge pose, I'm bending at the knee. The heel comes in toward the glute, top of the foot presses down, getting into the quads. So wherever you are, just stay with your breath. And then slowly pressing into your feet, remove any blocks or blankets or bolsters you have, and slowly settle back down onto your back. Moving into a happy baby position. So there's two options. You can take your hands underneath the thighs, or you can reach around for the outer edges of the feet. The knees move in toward the armpits. The feet are as if you're standing on the ceiling. And slowly begin to move into your inversion practice, so you can send legs up the wall or place a block back underneath you or bolster underneath you, sending legs up. You can take a headstand or a shoulder stand, so anything that's a part of your practice that gets the hips above the heart, blood flowing back down, boosting circulation. So I'm demoing two options, one with the block underneath me and then legs up the wall. So wherever you are, just begin to slow and deepen your breath, really lengthening the exhalation. Allowing yourself to take this nice constructive rest, setting yourself up for the rest of the day. And so inversions really boost your circulation and energy. On your next exhalation, slowly come down, making your way into a counter pose. So you can lie in a fetal position or take a child's pose. And take the time it takes to slowly make your way onto your back. And when you find yourself on your back, you can take your feet mat width apart and just let your knees gently move side to side. And take any final movement you need to take before you set yourself up for Shavasana. You can take a spinal twist or anything else that your body is suggesting will complete your practice. So tuning in, receiving and that wisdom and honoring your body here. And then slowly make your way into the final resting pose, Shavasana. You can put a blanket over you. You can put a blanket under your head or just lie there. Get yourself really comfortable here, and as you're ready, slowly let go. And during Shavasana today, I'll guide you through a progressive relaxation. So bring your attention into your right hand and notice your right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, right wrist, right lower arm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, and travel down the right side of your body from shoulder to hip, top of the right hip, outer edge of the right hip, right glute, and travel down the right upper leg, right knee, right lower leg, ankle, top of the right foot, sole of the right foot, heel, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, whole right side of the body. Bring your attention into your left hand. Notice the left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, left wrist, left lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, and travel down the left side of your body from shoulder to the hip. And then notice the top of the hip, the side of the hip, the glute, left upper leg, left knee, lower leg, ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, heel, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, whole left side of the body. And then as you're breathing, really sense your whole body breathing, whole body resting on the mat. And begin to deepen your breath, calling yourself back into the present moment. Bring some gentle movement to your fingers and your toes. And then slowly bending at the knees, extend your right arm up overhead. And make your way onto your right side, making a pillow for your head with your arm. Pausing here, keeping your attention turned inward, deepening your breath. With all that focus turned inward, slowly press your way up to a comfortable seated position and take the time it takes to get settled here. So just as we started practice, you can sit up on blankets or blocks or even in a chair, anything you need to do to get super comfy, entering a final meditation. So as you sit here, watch your breath move in and out, and allow your breath to focus your mind. Allowing yourself this moment of peace before you start the rest of your day.